What's up, good people? It's your girl Janelle of Cope with Janelle. That's Climb Over Problems every day. And we are ready to climb over some problems today. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 6, Relationship Goals. Yes, we are talking about relationships. But before we get going, I want to let y'all know that I do have my phone, the Cope with Janelle line. Okay. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to call in, please feel free to do so. The number is 803-830-0639. Again, that's 803-830-0639. I'm going to write that in the chat so that y'all have that. What's up, JoJo? Thank you for joining. Wonderful. I can always count on you to be up in the number. All right, so let's get right on into it. Oh, yes, the roots are rooting, y'all. Okay, Melody Woods, I am calling and I am coming through. Yes, honey, because I need your fingers in this head. If y'all looking for a person to do your locks and all the things, Melody Woods, look her up in Style Seat. Okay, so what are the 3 major reasons? Yes, and Shonda. Thank you, JoJo, for the reminder. And Shonda, y'all can look them up there. In Trendy Hands. That's the name of the salon, Trendy Hands. All right, so moving on, right? 3 main reasons why people break up or get divorced. What do y'all think the 3 main reasons are? I'm going to tell you. Communication, finances, and sex. Yes, we go on there today. And even though I have this down for this session today, I feel in my spirit a part 2. Joining me today, I have a special guest that is going to be coming in, and she's going to be joining me momentarily. But let's just go ahead on and get into those top 3 reasons. Okay, so the top 3 reasons why people get a divorce or why they end up breaking up is because of communication, sex, and finances, all of which for various reasons. Communication, just because you're talking, does that really mean you're communicating? Just because you're yelling, does that mean the person hears you? No. So there are ways in which we communicate. And I want to bring y'all up to speed just a little bit with the styles of communication. So there are 3 major styles of communication before I bring my guest in. There is assertive communication, passive communication, and aggressive. Of course, we know aggressive is with that rah-rah. You got a little too much salt, too much seasoning on what you're saying. It may have a little bit of volume. It may have some degrading, some threats, and not even just threats to the other person, but just gaslighting, making things sound more difficult, more challenging than what they have to. They're not really about getting your point across. It's more about you getting your emotions across. The passive communication. Passive is not just not saying something. You can be passive in other ways. You can be passive aggressive, like when you ask the questions, but that's not really the question that you want to ask. For example, so I see our lawn is just giving Jumanji vibes. I guess we're going to be roughing it in the wilderness. That's passive communication. What could we just ask? Hey, do you have plans to mow the lawn this weekend? If you don't have plans, can we mow the lawn this weekend? Ask the question that you want the answer to. Now, that's good sound counsel, okay? And y'all got that for free. Go ahead on, put that in your pocket. But then we have our last bit of communication, assertive. Assertive does not mean that you have an attitude. That does not mean that you are oblivious to the fact that someone else may have another opinion and you're just really being forceful about what you're saying. Assertive communication simply means that you're being clear, concise, and confident. Okay? The 3 C's: clear, concise, and confident. You're not using all the jargon to get your point across. You're simply saying what it really is. So I feel a little self-conscious about our lawn because it is very much unkept on our block. And although I'm not, trying to compare myself with other people, it would really help me if our lawn got maintained. Would you be able to maintain our lawn this weekend? Clear, concise, and confident. It's to the point without being accusatory, without being aggressive, and without you just eating whatever it is that's bothering you. Okay. All right. Let's put a pause on it for a moment because I'm going to bring in my special guest. Y'all give me hand claps from where you're at because I know you're going to be clapping from your tables at your house or your desk at your job because it's your lunch hour, 12:11. Y'all give it up for my bestie, my homie sister, LaToya Benjamin. Yeah, and the crowd goes wild.
Hi everyone.
This is my bestie. I love her to pieces.
Yes.
Everybody got to have a bestie.
Yes, most definitely.
You got to have a bestie.
That ride or die.
Come on here. Will I not come through? Come
yes.
on. Will she not? See how she already, okay.
We don't play about each other.
I don't play about her. She don't play about me. Either I'm going to be with her.
Or she going to be with me.
Or we going to be with each other. There it is. Okay. So I was just telling the people about the communication. We're both married. Hello, husbands. But communication, finances, sex, 3 major reasons why people break up and why people get divorced. Communication, even when married, does communication come easy?
It does not come easy at all. It's tough work.
Yeah.
How you hear people say marriage is work, it is work.
It is work, for
After
sure.
all the glitz and glamour of the wedding and honeymoon is over, the real work starts.
Come on, real work. Because what I have come to find out, and please correct me if I'm wrong, if you have a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What I've come to find out is that men, and I'm not a sexist, wait a minute, hold on. Let me put some disclaimers out there because what y'all not going to do on my good podcast is be typing up, you doing too much on the men and too much. Okay. I am simply making a generalization, which we all know does not apply to everyone. There are some caveats. There are some outliers for sure.
Yes.
But there are also trends and norms.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I have come to find out over the years is that men are generally groomed to date or to woo the woman to get them in,
Mm-hmm.
A man that findeth the woman findeth a good thing. Okay, good
Yes.
thing. Good thing.
Good thing.
Okay. But they are generally taught how to date or how to woo the person. You should open the door for the woman. You should buy them flowers. You should take them out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about dating and marriage in a whole other segment. But this is all the preemptive grooming. But a lot of times I see that they're not really taught more of how to sustain a marriage. Once you've gotten the good thing
correctly,
you have obtained the good thing,
mm-hmm.
Okay, with capacity that you've shown.
Yes.
Because we know capacity
mm-hmm.
is what fuels expectations, which is why we be expecting stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Just putting that out. Don't put us together in the room. Don't tempt us with a good time. Okay. So you have all of that, but then you get married. And then the communication, the sweet nothings, the text messages that you used to get, or the conversations where y'all used to both fall asleep on the phone for hours, they
mm-hmm.
kind of dwindle. And now conversations become more transactional. Communication is a must. How are we supposed to keep communication going after we've gotten the good thing? Because ultimately, we want to be found. So we have our good thing as well, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. What do we have to do for communication? That's that's a question. What do we do with that? You're still supposed to ask your spouse or your partner, not just the regular question, how was your day? What are the transactional questions that y'all be asking in your house? Because I know everybody be asking the same questions.
How did your day go?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you eat for lunch?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What you want for dinner?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Is it your turn or my turn to pick up the kids from practice?
Ooh, come on, because we take turns. You know,
Yes.
you gotta have the turns.
Yes.
We take turns. Me and Ray would take turns too. Transactional, right? That's the same conversation we have every day. When you were dating, what were the conversations y'all would have?
About hopes and dreams and bucket list items and where we saw ourselves years and years from that point.
Yeah. Do you still have dreams?
Do.
Do you still have bucket lists?
And do.
Do y'all talk about that daily?
Not daily.
But periodically?
Yes.
Okay. Do those conversations seem more fruitful than the transactional ones of how was your day? What you want for dinner? Whose turn is it?
They are, because, you know, those transactional conversations can be just one word answers. But when we have those other conversations, it can lead to more in-depth conversations.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the main reasons why we have those in-depth conversations, particularly when we're courting, is because we're trying to get to know the person.
Right.
But funny thing, I've been married to the Reverend for going on 14 years.
And come May 21st, 20 years for me. 20. And Major Omar Benjamin.
Ooh, major 20 years is major. That's a long time.
And been together for 25.
Oh my. Dang. Y'all remember that episode of, what was it, Living Color? I can't remember what them two old people was, but they'd be like, we still together. Man, y'all still together.
Yes, yes.
Amen. Okay, so like the thing was, you're trying to get to know the person while y'all having the in-depth conversations. Are you the same person that you were 25 years ago?
I am not the same person that I was 25 years ago.
So I'm assuming that there's new stuff to learn about you, which would still require the in-depth conversations.
Yes.
I know I'm not the same person I was 13, 14 years ago. And we courted for 4 years before we got married. Mm-hmm. So like 17, 18 years ago, I'm not the same person.
And they're not the same person.
Absolutely. So the conversation needs to be two ways.
Yes.
Two ways conversation. All right, let me put that on the burner for a second. Let's talk about money. Oh my God.
Sometimes that's a very sticky conversation because when you're growing up, you really don't have that conversation. For me, growing up, I knew my parents, you know, put a certain amount of money in their bank account to cover the household bills. They came up with a number that was good enough for them, and that was just about it. Any extra stuff that came about, you know, they made it do what it do. Excuse me, I got some lotion in my eye, so it's a little burning.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Please go ahead and get access. I don't even know what's going on. Y'all, listen, we keep it real here at Coke, but now I need you to climb over that problem, go to the restroom and put you some water in your eye before. Don't die on this podcast, not today. Okay, but she's right, though. The money situation is something that we definitely we don't really talk about. I know that growing up in my household, we were not, as the children, included in such conversations. And even now as adults, we have conversations, but they're more guidance conversations where our parents are trying to guide us. But I'm in my 40s now. I know I don't look like it. Drink lots of water. Come on, water. Mm-hmm. Keep my skin lotioned up, which is why her eye was burning 2 seconds ago. We keep the skin lotioned up. That's how we stay looking, not in our 40s. But the money conversation was not something that I witnessed my parents having, nor did my sister and I become part of those conversations until we were already grown and had already made some mistakes.
Right.
So to have that conversation with our spouses, it can seem to be a little bit jarring. It can be very uncomfortable. So one of the main goals of having money conversations is to normalize it. You want to make money conversations a part of a norm, a part of a normalcy that you have in your household, in which you include, for certain segments, your children a part of that. Like me and the Reverend, we've talked with our kids about tithing and stuff, and when you work, how much you're supposed to give and whatnot. But we have not had the conversation as of yet. I mean, we have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old about the real true depths of savings, the real true depths of investing, paying bills, because they have no bills. They believe that all their bills is covered by the trees in the backyard.
Money grows on trees.
Hello, it just falls out the sky. Just the card, the debit card will always have money on it. Okay, go ahead on, swipe mine.
Decline.
Okay, go ahead on, swipe it. Swipe it. Swipe it. Okay, swipe it. But in all seriousness, we need to like create an atmosphere where money is not such a taboo topic. Do y'all do that with because your kids are older than mine?
Yes, I have a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. So, my daughter, our daughter is newly a college graduate. So, she's taking a gap year. So in that gap year, she has gotten a job. But before that, we've tried to, give them the information they needed so that they wouldn't be in the same position we were when we were their age. Yeah. So we started to try to have that money conversation early on, but now she's taking it to a new level, being that she's making her own money and being able to save and to be, a good steward of her money.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I mean, and I know for me, it's easier to talk to our kids about money. But when I sit down and talk to the Reverend about money, I know me personally, I get that bubble gut feeling.
Yes. That nervousness,
that
like you already play it out in your mind what it's gonna be before it's happening.
And there's no reason, because, like, truth be told, like, the Reverend, he will hold us down, do whatever you got to do in order to make sure that we have what we need as a family. But there's just a discomfort that
because we haven't grown up talking about money, so it's always a sticky situation to actually have that conversation as an adult now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's like this unspoken fear that there will be either some type of judgment, that you'll find out something that you probably didn't want to know,
right,
or that you weren't prepared for.
Right.
There's always like that sense of fear. This is why bringing a sense of normalcy will alleviate that. Whatever you get more exposure to, that is the same concept for desensitization. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we want to desensitize the discomfort as it relates to money. So having money dates monthly, mm-hmm. or bi-weekly or whatever, or around, pay dates. Yeah. Just having money dates where you sit and talk about it and put some ground rules down that this is a feeling-free zone. No feelings allowed. Right. Drop them joints off. Okay. No feelings at this table. Simply facts and numbers. Because numbers don't lie.
Right. When it's in black and white.
It is what it is right there. So we're going to table money for, I know we're going to have like a part 2, part 3,
right.
Part 4. Like this is just
going.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the other part, sex. Ooh. Not the first lady in here talking about sex. Where my pearls at so I can clutch them? Oh, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a part of marriage ministry. It's a part of marriage ministry. Again, I say it's a part of marriage ministry. Premarital sex doesn't count for the blessings that are attached to the marital ministry. And no judgment. No judgment. Because before I was saved, I was unsaved.
And to be honest, we had our daughter before we got married. So there you go. Things happen.
We out here human. We all fall short of the glory. So literally, when I say no judgment, there's no judgment
at all.
So the issue, though, sex being one of the top 3 reasons why people break up or get a divorce. There's a lot of different things kind of enmeshed in that, whether we have unhealthy expectations of sex because of prior experiences or even traumas. Mm-hmm. Like, let's not leave the trauma out, because trauma is all embedded up in sex.
Right.
There is fluctuations with frequency, especially the longer you're together.
Yeah. And then, hormones and life.
Don't talk about hormones while we in this menopause.
Perimenopause.
Listen, there's a demon on perimenopause. That's gonna be a whole nother podcast because the demon that lives within. Right before I got on camera, y'all, I was sitting here. That's why I was a little late. I was like, Lord, please take this wave away from me.
Yes.
But bodies change. Physical bodies change.
Yeah.
When I look back at my wedding pictures, y'all, your girl was like, ding, 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 ding. Okay. And now I'm like, like it's a lot of I don't know why did I have to do sound effects?
It just makes it all
better. I don't know what's happening. Don't put us together. Again, I say. But yeah, bodies change, expectations change, frequency of sex changes, desire, libido.
Yes.
The libido be like, no, sometimes. And then it'd be like, yes, hello.
Yeah.
But if your libido and your partner's libido is not matching, you're still like, which is where the communication comes in.
Yeah.
But when it comes to sex is supposed to be a connection of the souls, of the spirit and the mind, intertwining for not just your own pleasure within your marriage, but for the multiplication of your family, for the building of what God has intended, right? And so once you have kids also, once the building in the kingdom has expanded, that also presents some
maneuvering.
Because it's an obstacle, one or two, I don't know, depending on how many children you have.
That you have to get over.
Right.
Put this kid to sleep. This kid wakes up. You got to get this one back to sleep.
Yeah.
Then you have those that climb in your bed in the middle of the night and don't want to go back to their bed.
And they sleep diagonal. You understand?
Yes.
Like, what is the...
It's like they want to touch both of you.
Respect the bound. Respect.
All that sleep at the foot.
Right. At the foot. At the foot. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on there. And I don't know about you, but after having my first child, I experienced postpartum like something serious. Like something serious. And it was like, woo! And then we had Charlie like back to back. They're like Irish twins. They're 19 months apart.
Yeah. I don't think it was a label put on it, but I feel like, I had some postpartum because between our daughter Nakel and our son Makai, we had 2 miscarriages. So therefore it was a lot of emotions, trauma, and all kind of things bottled up, trying to multiply our family. Yeah.
And like enmeshed in that is sex. Like we can't take the... So because sex is a part of the story, it also becomes a part of the emotional response.
Right.
The mind is not set up to forget. The mind attaches different things. You find one concept. If I say soccer, your mind is going to automatically start thinking about different experiences that you may have had with a soccer ball, a soccer coach, something in PE back in middle school. Like the mind draws all the things to that one topic because the mind is not set up to forget, right? So now you have sex enmeshed in miscarriages, most postpartum, change in body. So you change how you feel about looking at yourself.
Right. And that's a big thing. You go from being boom, bam, pow to like she said, blah. So you don't see yourself as the same sexy person that you were pre-kid.
Yeah. And we do all the things to kind of like get back to that. But again, are you the same person that you were when you were 20?
Nope.
Yeah. I'm not. The way my back is backing.
Mine be acting up sometimes too.
Indeed. Although we don't look like we're in our 40s. Right. The way the back is backing. But, all of that plays a part. So how do you alleviate some of the problems with sex? I think we're going to have to come back because, that's our time for today.
Yes.
I'm so sad. Part 2. Okay. Come on back next Wednesday, 12/11, so that we can get up into let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things. Too much. All right. I am a first lady. Like, what's wrong with you? Why do you do this to me?
We
We're
do
on
it for
camera.
each other.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Okay.
that's how we roll. That's what makes our friendship the way that it is.
Because we keep it 100.
100.
100. All right. You guys come back next Wednesday, 12:11 p.m. You know the drill. Get your lunch out your refrigerator at work, warm it up, sit back down at your desk. If you're at the house, go ahead on and pause those stories. Get off the news. You need to
watch stories.
People still watch the stories.
Good Lord.
You know, if I'm off though, you know, I will turn on to General Hospital.
Wow.
Y'all watch GH? Don't do me. Because Sonny and Jason are still everything. Everything. Whatever. I digress. Next Wednesday, back here with Cope with Janelle. Until next time, thanks, good people, for joining, and I shall see y'all again. Bye.